Good afternoon, Hillcrest family, and welcome to another edition of our HCC at-home virtual series. This portion is the golf education portion. Down here on our north range, adjacent to number one's green and two's tee box, it is closed for right now. A good spot for me to come down here and do a video and have a little more alone time, you could say. Today we're going to work on those altered shots, those shots that aren't just going to be your standard setup, your standard ball position, your standard, ball flight or thought process, those sawed-off wedges maybe, or maybe something like you threw it off the deck, or maybe like an iron you got to hit low, or an iron you got to hit high. Just those different kinds of shots that everyone might not be able to hit. We're going to go over those today, and also I don't have any questions. I don't have any. I won't be able to get to your questions today during the live video, as it is just me. So refrain from the questions till the very end, and then I'll look at the very end, and then we'll answer any that might come up. But as always, if you watch this afterhand, email us, call us, reach out, and we'll be able to help you and answer any way we can. Again, down here on the North Range, it's a beautiful Tuesday. Our greens have just been aerated. So if you weren't aware, our greens just got aerated. Still great day to be out here. It's gorgeous. Still great time to come work on your game. I'm down here working on my all my clubs besides a putter, so I can still do this with these greens punched. So just because the greens are punched, not an excuse to not be out here. So we'll get into quick. We'll start off with kind of a easier one. Not easier. I take that back. None of this stuff's easy. We'll go with the. We'll work our way up. So we're gonna go with our wedge to start. Okay. So I'm gonna grab my 54 degree, and we're gonna work on those flighted shots. Okay. So I know we talked about on the range on the short range, some pitching stuff and kind of finding those spots on your body or on your club. Maybe we're thinking time like 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock, noon, kind of similar to that. But those ones are just, we're trying to hit the ball shorter. We're not trying to adjust the loft at all. So we're still following through normal, and we're getting up to here. I'm not trying to hit a low flighted wedge in there. There could be wind. There could be a lot of green in front of me to where I want to kind of hit a lower one. There could be a few reasons why. But we're going to go over today, or just for this next portion, our flighted wedges and when I want to hit those and how I want to hit those. So right here I have a 54. Probably a really bad wedge to choose for a flighted wedge. This is the second highest lofted club in my bag. So if I'm like 60 yards out and it's blowing, I probably won't use this to flight it. So I'm actually going to take it back, and I'm going to grab my gap wedge. If I'm ever trying to flight a club, I'll usually go up to my next club. A, because you're not going to hit the ball as far trying to flight it, and B, it's going to go a little lower for you off the bat. So I now just switched to my gap wedge. This is going to be anywhere from everyone's gap wedges. They're all different. I would say it ranges from 48 to 52 degrees or somewhere in that range, close to it. This one, my gap wedge is a 48. So, or actually, take it back to 50. So my gap wedge is a 50. So if I'm in that 60-ish, 75 yardage range, and I want to flight it, I want to hit it lower, I want to get under a wind, or I want to get under a tree, whatever it may be, I'm going to use this. This is probably my 100-yard club. I would say anywhere from 100 to 125. I got a big range with this club, just because with your wedges, you usually have a big range. It's not always full shots. So I have a bigger range with this club. I usually will never hit it from 60 yards out unless I need to flight and hit that lower kind of ball flight. So to start, I think if you guys have watched my other videos, I wish we were live enough so I could ask a question and get answers. But there is one thing wrong with my setup right now. I hope you guys would say I don't have an alignment stick down. Even though I'm hitting flighted shots, I'm not hitting just standard shots on the range. I'm still going to use I'm still going to use my alignment rod or stick. Do you just hit flighted shots anywhere? You're still using a target, right? So I'm going to get out my one of my alignment sticks and get a line going to that red flag down the way, okay? I'm not trying to hit that red flag. I think that's about 175 yards, maybe somewhere in there. So obviously I'm not trying to hit it at to that red flag, but I am trying to hit a little bit of a. I'm trying to hit down that line. So I'm still going to use that as my marker. Okay, so we're doing a flighted gap wedge. So I'm going to have more of a choked up grip, okay? The more you choke up, the shorter the ball is going to go, and usually lower the ball is going to go. You're taking away that length. You're not allowing yourself to get the full length of that club. So you're going to get down there a little earlier, and that ball's going to come off a little lower. So I'm going to choke up a tad, okay? And I'm also going to have my weight on my front foot here, okay? I'm going to make sure that my weight's on my front foot.
The only chance I get to be in the movies?
Yes, sir. So my weight's going to be on my front foot, and I make sure I'm stacked. Why? Because I don't want to get on my back, on my weight, my back, and have a chance to lift that ball up. I'm going to stay stacked on this left side and be sure I'm hitting down on that golf ball. I'm not coming out of it too early, okay? And lastly, you're going to see my abbreviated or sawed-off finish. I'm going to hold that finish like this and hopefully keep my hands dang near close to my head and not let them break, okay? And that's my idea for my swing thought too. I want to keep my hands ahead of my body the whole time. Because the moment I let them get here, that's when we see that ball get in the air, okay? So I'm going to choke up a little bit. My weight's going to be forward. And I'm going to make sure I have that abbreviated sawed-off finish. And the biggest thing too is we got to accelerate. Not with our arms, not getting fast. We got to accelerate with our turn. Just because we're hitting a punch shot doesn't mean we can get lazy and decelerate, okay? Once you decelerate, that's when the S word comes into play and other bad shots. S word, I won't say it, but you guys know what the S word means for golf. But that's when deceleration can lead to a bunch of mishits. And we want to make sure that we're accelerating through that golf ball and not allowing my arms to get ahead and not allowing my deceleration to be the reason why I don't hit a good golf shot here. So we're going to get down my line, got my target picked out. And also too, guys, that ball is going to be more towards the back of my stance, okay? So what you usually would have with your clubs, where that ball position is going to be, move it back an inch or two, somewhere in that range, okay? So the gap wedge is usually just behind middle for me. I'm going to move it even more behind middle just because that means we're going to catch it more on our downswing and on our upswing, and that's just going to help us get that ball even lower as well. So I know I just threw a lot of things at you. I think it was 4 things: choke up, weight forward, ball back, and abbreviated finish. Hopefully that's not too much, but those are all things that I look for, that I try and make sure I do to hit a low shot here. I got to preface this. This is my first ball I've hit all day, so no one laugh. Okay. Down the line. That ball's more back than usual. I'm choked up about half an inch, somewhere in there. My weight's forward. I'm going to saw off that swing. Awesome. So I bladed a tad, but it still got very low, and I still went right down my line. Got a little fast and kind of rose up. That's why I bladed it. But for the most part, I was a millimeter away, 2 minutes away from hitting the exact shot I want. Okay, we'll go one more time. Hopefully, see a little more realistic shot. I mean, that was, if we wanted low, that conquered low. but I might be a little deep just because I bladed it. So we're going to try one more time. But all those things that we just talked about, I'm still going to do the same. That miss hit wasn't because of something we were talking about. It's just operator error. We as golf pros do hit miss shots still. If you see my other videos of me down here on the range, you know that. Okay. Same idea. Balls back. Choking up. Weight forward. Now I'm going to let my hands stay in front. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Really good result. I'm super happy with that. Wedges usually go high, so that wasn't a low screamer like that blade I hit. That blade was even too low. I would say it went a usual like 4-iron high, 5-iron high for me, which is perfect, which is what I want. If I'm that close, I'm not trying to hit a low laser. I'm just trying to not hit a high ball get lost in the wind there. And that was exactly what I wanted to accomplish, okay? I hit that ball low. I hit it clean. My divot's right down my line. And I'm very pleased with that shot. Very, very pleased with that shot. Very, I don't know. We'll say lucky for me to hit that my second shot that good, but those kind of shots take time to learn how to hit. Anytime you're adjusting something with your swing and your stance, it's always going to take time. So just telling yourself, oh, I choke up, one way forward, and the ball back, I'm hit it low. You can hit it low, but it's going to take some repetition. It's going to take some doing that on the range to really be comfortable doing something different. We touch on it. I think we say this every video. If we can give you the tools to hit a low shot, to hit a high shot, to hit a fade, to chip better, but if there's no time being put in, none of that's going to work. So now we're going to move up to something on the other end of the spectrum, and we're going to hit a high shot, a really high shot. So say this is perfect. I don't know if you guys are familiar with our trees or not. I'll kind of turn it. So say I need to go back there to number 2's tee box. And I have these trees ahead of me. And I have some room, but I got to get the ball up in a hurry. And I don't want to hit it low because it looks like low. There's too much stuff in my way there. So hopefully that's good. Let me make sure it's good for you guys. Awesome. Okay, so hopefully we all have the confidence to hit a high ball like that. And right now I'm going to give us the tools to hit that high ball, to get that ball in the air quick. So first things first, we'll just give myself a yard just for sake of you guys knowing what club I pick. Let's say I am 120 yards out. Okay, so I just told you earlier my yardages for my gap wedge is ranging anywhere from 100 to 125. But I'm actually going to hit a pitching wedge. Again, I wish I could ask you guys why I'm doing that, but I can't really get an answer out of you guys right now. So the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm getting the ball in the air. I'm hitting the ball higher. That ball's not going to go as far because it's not its usual trajectory. It's not going to be going at a launch angle that I'm used to with this club that's going to give me the yardages that I have with these clubs. I'm going to be hitting this higher, which means it's going to go higher quicker and down quicker. So I'm not going to hit it as far. So I'm going to club up if I want to hit that ball higher. If you need to hit it really high, maybe you need to club up twice because that ball is going to just get in the air and it's just going to lose itself in the wind and up there. And it's hard to judge exactly how much to club up. But I would usually say 1 if it's really high and excessive, club up 2. But usually if you need to club up 2, it's probably not the play because it's hard to club up 2 and then still get a ball that high. Only way you could do it is probably with your gap wedge, pitching wedge, maybe 9-iron. You can maybe hit a 7-iron that high, but you won't run into a 2 club up that much to hit a ball higher. So all we're going to do is really look in the mirror from hitting a ball lower, and we're just going to flip it, okay? So I'm not going to be choking up at all, okay? First things first, I'm going to hold this normal. I'm not choking up one bit. Secondly, I'm going to now put that ball back in my stance, okay? Or not back. I am so sorry. I'm going to put that ball forward back to where it was. I was going to get to, but forward in my stance. So just like we just said with the gap wedge. putting that ball about 2 inches back, and I'm going to put it about 2 inches forward, okay? I'm not going to go way too crazy. This is a pitching wedge. That's usually middle of my stance. I'm not going to get out of hand and go my front foot here, but I'm going to stay right here in the center and then go about an inch or two and get that and help get that ball in the air. Because now I'm going to catch it coming up, hopefully. That's going to gain that natural loft to it. So put the ball up. I'm not going to choke up. And then another one, too, guys, is I'm going to put my hands away from that benchmark, okay? That benchmark on my left thigh that I use for all my irons, all my clubs. If you've watched any of my videos, you know I preach the benchmark of your left thigh. I use that as a cornerstone for all my clubs because it's just consistent. Now, I'm not going to because that shaft fling that we create with that is just another way to get that ball going off, not lower and off its true flight, okay? We want to compress it. I'm going to move my hands back to be neutral, to be square, because I'm just now adding loft. When you put your hands forward, you're de-lofting that club just by doing this. So I'm going to add that loft back, and I'm going to put that loft back to that club and have those hands in the middle, okay? So that ball's going to be a little forward, and those hands are going to be straight up and down. We're not going to go back, but they're going to be straight up from where that ball is, okay? And lastly, guys, my weight's going to remain on my front foot, but not as stacked, okay? I don't want us ever getting on our back foot the whole time. That's not going to help us get in the air. I still want the weight to be like Mark taught, left, right, and then finish on that left. It's still going to be that, but we're not going to be so stacked on our left side to make sure we're hitting down on it, okay? But lastly, I am going to swing a little up and out, meaning if you see my full swing video, part 1 is when that club's parallel down my toe line and you want it pointing down to your target, okay? But for this, I'm going to go up a little out, okay? I'm going to let those arms kind of be part of that takeaway a little more instead of that chest being part of that takeaway because I want to get up and then also back down the same path and kind of slice under it and help that ball get in the air. We can't come from our usual underneath spot and help that ball get in the air, okay? That's going to make it come off that true flight and not going to give it any help to get that ball higher. We need to come a little up and across it to help slice it up. Because usually if you're behind a tree like that, you're in the rough. And just a swing like that is going to allow that club to slice through that rough a little better. I'm not going to get out of control with it. I'm not going to be swinging up here. But instead of there, I'm going to get here. So just small incremental change, okay? And if you notice, guys, I'm hitting from the back of my other divot, okay? Range 101, range maintenance 101. What I talked about is the last one. We're going to use the same divot and just hit around it so we're not creating a bunch of other divots and taking up potential space. Nice and compact, guys. Okay. So we're going to have that ball a tad forward. It's probably where my 7-iron would be. I'm going to have no choke up. Those hands are not being any shaft lean. I'm going to be swinging a little more with my arms, a little up and out, okay? Awesome. Did exactly what I wanted to. I got that ball up in a hurry. Did it go as far as my usual pitching wedge would? No. But that's because I just hit it so high, added that loft to it. That is how I hit the ball higher. There's other ways there's other kind of tidbits that we can learn to help the ball hit higher. Those are the kind of the 4 key components I use, guys. And across the way, going up into your irons, it's the same thing. Same thing with a 7-iron. If I want to hit it lower, it balls me back. I'm gonna choke up. I'm gonna saw off that finish. That wasting me forward. Nothing changes because I'm using wedges. I'm using wedge. I just use a wedge to pick first off. But if I want to hit anything higher or lower, all those characteristics are going to be the same going up in your clubs, okay? Okay, so lastly, I want to just do one thing and talk about 3-woods, okay? I know there's a few videos I've talked about hitting 3-woods off the deck. And I would say that's probably one of the hardest shots in golf is a 3-wood off the ground or a fairway bunker. That one might be a little bit personal because I hate fairway bunkers. But hitting a 3-wood off the ground is scary for a lot of people. I know a lot of my lessons, they come to me and they want to hit these woods because this is a club where if you can hit it off the ground, that's a huge help to your second shot. Where if you don't have the distance to get, your irons to the green in 2, and your woods is your best bet, but you keep topping it, you keep chunking it. This is going to help you get that ball in the air, and help build confidence with otherwise a scary club to hit when you're not on the tee box. So I'll give myself here a decent lie. It's not propped up. I'm not helping myself at all. But there's a few things we're going to do to help me hit this 3-wood in the air. Hopefully in the air. Like I said, I haven't hit much shots, so hopefully it's a first timer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choke up a tad, okay? These clubs are so long. Just you hitting them off the ground, choking up a tad is just going to take away that chance where if I dip at all, I'm going to chunk it. I think the biggest miss is a chunk. If I hit the top of the ball, I'm still going to have a chance to see that ball go, at least skip and roll. If I'm chunking this 3-wood, I'm screwed. And with these clubs usually off a tee, so you might get away with kind of dipping a tad. But off the ground, there's not much room for error. So I'm going to choke up a tad just in case I lose any elevation, that I'm not going to be so penalized by that, okay? Awesome. Secondly, I'm going to put the ball a little more up in my stance than I would, okay? We want to catch this ball going up. We want to catch these woods going up. So with my 3-wood on the tee box, it might be a ball behind my front foot. Off the ground, I might put it more towards my left heel, just a fraction. That's going to help me get that ball in the air even much more. So I'm going to choke up a tad. Ball's going to be just close to that left heel. And my weight is going to be on my backside, about 60%. You're not going to see me have that weight forward and then right and then left. I'm just going to start kind of like the driver, okay? I'm going to start back, not so much to where I'm tilted, but I have about 60% of weight on my back foot, and my head and shoulders are square, and my head's tilted back a tad, okay? And the biggest thing, I think, is making a nice, smooth swing. So many times with this 3-wood, we are farther away, so we want to crush this 200, crush this 250, and hit that hero 3-wood shot to the green. That's not always going to happen. We want a smooth, nice, compact shot. And if it comes up just short, that's better than hitting a 4-iron 40 yards short or topping this thing or chunking this thing. So it's a nice, smooth swing. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I'm not going to try and kill it. I'm really going to focus on my chest taking it away and coming from around, okay? I want to feel this. I want to feel that club coming back here and around me, okay? So, see if I hit a 3-wood in the air. Off the ground. All righty. So that ball's going to be a little forward. I'm going to choke up a tad. Okay. My weight's on my backside. Head's a little back. And nice. I'm not in a hurry. So I kind of hit a little under it. I'm more towed it than anything. So I didn't hit a great shot, and that wasn't because of something I said. It was just a swing habit of mine. For the reason why I towed it. So we'll see if we can't do one more, guys. Patience. I got a little quick. Patience. Okay. Ball's gonna be forward. Choking up a tad, weight's back. That was better. A tad off the toe, but I got it in the air where I wanted to. A tad right, a little right to left. That's that toe shot. But even for towing, I got it in the air pretty good. So 3-wood, I think, off the ground, I think the biggest thing is up here. Having a mental roadblock of why you can't hit this club is going to be as big as a factor to not hitting it as, say, having doing something wrong with your swing. Having that confidence is absolutely huge, guys. So don't be afraid to hit those long woods, but we're just a broken record with this. But you're not just gonna watch this and go out in the course, do what we talked about, and then just all of a sudden start hitting this wood. You gotta come here first. You gotta come in the range and practice a difficult shot like hitting 3-wood off the ground. That's not gonna come easy, guys. As all you know, golf's not easy. So thank you so much for tuning in today. Hopefully I helped you guys with something. I know a lot of you guys are never in the trees or have to hit it high or low, so you're probably not worried about the first stuff. But hopefully the 3-wood was a help to you guys. Like I said earlier, greens are aerated. It doesn't mean you can't get out here and hit a bucket of balls and maybe spend that hour on the range that we talked about in my last video and really kind of go through a full range session and just dive into it. And then when you're done, I promise you'll feel so good about it. But I hope everyone's staying happy and healthy. I'm sorry if I didn't get to your questions today. I'll go back and look if there is any and reach out to those who did ask questions. But if there is any questions, email us, call us. You know where to find us. I hope everyone is staying happy and healthy, guys. The end is hopefully near. And but again, we love to see you guys out here. We're seeing record numbers, and it's just getting better and better each day. So get out here, enjoy this nice weather. Come say hi to us, and as always, stay healthy.